Hello and welcome to Anine. My name is Anine. I've added energy to my name because I very much believe in the importance of staying energetic, have high energy, to maximize our personal energy or balance or manage our personal energy. And especially now during these very challenging times with the coronavirus. Today is the 14th of March and everywhere around me has shut down. Schools, restaurants, ski slopes, you name it. And I know a lot of people are living in fear of catching the virus. So I'm going to be giving you some suggestions as to how to keep your immune system high, because I believe that with a high immune system, even though you are exposed to the virus, your body will be able to fight it. So if you're interested in improving your immune system, stay tuned. I'm going to be sharing things that the doctors are not talking about, at least what I have never come across that. I have a master in holistic health education. I have been an avid student of personal health and well-being for the last 25, 30 years. And I'm hardly ever sick. It's very, very seldom. And I know that it's due to that I keep on monitoring my immune system. And I've helped numerous people with this as well. So let's begin by talking about the importance of staying warm during the winter time, or staying warm in general. Our body has an enormous capacity to create something called homeostasis. It wants to bring itself back into balance if it gets out of balance. So we need to give our body the opportunity to do its job really well. And that is to fight the germs or the virus that we catch. But if we are very cold, then it is hard for the body to actually focus its energy on fighting the germs. So I always make sure that I have slippers and warm socks, like wool socks on when I'm inside. And when I'm outside, I always wear wool in my shoes, and I always stay warm on my feet and my ankles. It's key. I get scared when I see people walking around without socks during the winter time. It's just asking to catch something. Also the neck, when I am outside, or if I feel at all a little bit cold, I put on a scarf. So, and it's so nice for the neck, to feel, to have I have this cashmere scarf, and it doesn't itch, and it feels really warm and cozy and nice. So walking out aside is very important to protect these areas that cools our body down the quickest, and that's the neck, it's the head, so we need to put on a hat, and our wrists and our feet, right? So that is number one. Then when it comes to drinking things, we need to be drinking lots of warm water, not from the tap, but I mix in cold water with hot water very often, and also drink a lot of teas and herbal teas and whatever. So cheers. And that is also very nurturing to the body. Ice cubes is a taboo during this time of the year because you're cooling down the whole body. The body is then trying to even out the temperature instead of fighting germs. So stay away from cold drinks and cold food in general, ice creams and things like that. I think is a very good advice. Let's talk about sleep. So just try to remember the last time when you caught a cold or a flu. Remember whether you had slept enough or whether you were tired. Most of the time when we catch something, it's because we either been cold or we have not rested enough. We have not slept enough. Our body cannot do more than it already does. Is the biggest multitasker that is. But if it is very tired, it's going to be very hard for it to fight any germs. So make sure you get enough quality deep sleep. So that's my second recommendation. Then taking different types of immune increasing supplements. So I'm a very big believer in honey. So my daughter's boyfriend brought this Manuka honey from New Zealand to me, and I'm so grateful. I love to mix cold water with hot water, and I mix in the honey in like make it into a tea. I also put in ginger, often fresh ginger that I grate, and half a lemon that I squeeze into my tea. Is another way to get nutrients and that supports my body. And it's very interesting. After I started taking honey regularly during the wintertime, I don't think I've caught anything since I started with that. So it's very, very potent, and I've done it for years. During the winter time, D vitamin, is very, very essential, D3, and also C vitamin. The more natural, the better. These are natural bio C vitamins, as well as zinc is also very essential. Now let's talk about if you possibly catch something, your body will, you will start feeling something, but that means that you have to tune your attention inside of yourself. Because if you're living in the head and you're always out there and you're not paying any attention inwards, you will not be able to notice the changes within you. And then you wake up in the morning, or you all of a sudden, you are sick. But you can actually stop an infection or a virus from materializing or to become, something of serious matter, if you catch yourself or you catch your body early on. And what do? If I feel like I feel a little funky in one way or the other, a heavy head, or my energy drops or whatever, I take, it's called echinacea in Switzerland where I live, or echinagard, it's called. In Norwegian, it's called solhatt, sun hat, directly translated. And I eat these. These are very, very strong, forte, it says. And I take one every 2 hours or so, the first maybe 12 hours. Along with, and this is super important, along with relaxing, meditating. So what I learned this from a guy in California when I was living there, the spiritual center, one of the spiritual centers of the world, in the San Francisco Bay Area. And I am a big believer of this philosophy. I lay down on a yoga mat. I put something over my eyes. I can be a scarf, just like this, over the eyes. I lay in a yoga position, like the dead man's pose, or Shavasana, it's called in Sanskrit. And I put also something over my body, and I make sure it's quiet around me. And then I close my eyes and I breathe slowly and deeply. And I allow my consciousness to go through via my mouth, down my esophagus, and into my belly. And then I rest my attention in my belly, and I lay there. And sometimes I lay there for 20 minutes, sometimes more, depending on how long my body needs in order to heal. And this is more than magic. It is incredible what the body has ability to do if you give it rest at the onset of having caught a virus or a bacteria. So most of the time when I lay down, if I feel something, I lay down, I wake up after, because I actually kind of disappear, whether I sleep or I go into deep, deep relaxation. When I wake up, it's gone. I feel healed. You know, it sounds strange, but I promise you it really works. You might need some practice, but that is also, I have been meditating for years and years, so I quickly go into a deep relaxation. And the sooner you start to learn to meditate and relax your body, the better it is. So meditation in general is extremely powerful for healing. And so my daughter was calling me the other day, and she was telling me that she was feeling very ill, and she had fever. And I said, please, darling, please try to meditate. It's like, yeah, I've heard it before. I said, well, it really works. I've helped so many people integrate meditation into their lives for the purpose of healing, and it has proven to work again and again. So she tried, and she said afterwards, Mom, I really believed it worked. So, your children are maybe the last people to take all your advice to heart, right? But, slowly but surely, they do. So these are my basic recommendations for how to increase your immune system. I will also talk later on about how to deal with fear, because I believe fear is something that is absolutely devastating for our healing abilities. So, but I will do in a separate video. So thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in with me. And I hope that you will share this video with people you believe is going to be inspired by it. I think we all need to help one another out here to stay as healthy and vibrant and alive as possible, and not catch the coronavirus. And I know you already know everything about washing your hands, staying away from big crowds, etc., etc. But that you have, I know that unless you have been living in a cave, that you have already picked up. So I look forward to getting your comments and hearing whether this is working. Please comment below. If you have any questions, you can also contact me. I'll put my email address in the link below. So I wish you well. I wish you health. I wish you high energy and a really powerful, strong immune system. Bye.